welcome to another episode of the Verde Valley Experience. Thank you so much for joining us. As always, I'm your host, Jennifer Cohen. Really appreciate you watching the show. It's a great show, all kinds of things happening. It's such a cool place. There's so much to do all the time and so many ways to take part in things that will enrich your life in ways that you cannot believe. And so we have all that happening today on the show. Our first guests today are going to talk about the Moonshot AZ Pioneer Pitch. Now, this is a very, very cool thing put on in the Verde Valley that's just the neatest, and you're going to hear all about this. I'm so glad because I just needed more information, so we got him on the show. So we have with us Mary Cohen. She's the Executive Director of the Verde Valley Regional Economic Organization. So you squish that together, you get VVREO. And Larry and Leslie, she's the owner of Chocolita in Sedona and the first place winner of the first Moonshot AZ Pioneer Pitch in the Verde Valley in 2019. So that's really cool that we get to talk to her. So we're going to learn all about the economic organization and the programs that it has to assist businesses in the Verde Valley, and of course the Pioneer Pitch program, which is super exciting. Our next guest after that will be Juers. He's from the Arizona Family Camp Out Coordinator Association. He's amazing. He's the coolest guy. Wait till you meet this guy. You're going to want to adopt him immediately. The Arizona Family Camp Out program, these weekends are designed for families that have kids but no camping experience. It's a great way to get out in the outdoors and learn how to do things in a safe and comfortable environment. You'll put up a tent, you'll learn how to cook, do all kinds of things, plus some community services involved. It's a really great program that you can take part of with your family. Then we'll go on location courtesy of our sponsors at Cat and Verde Links to the Butterfly Garden Inn at Oak Creek Canyon, and we'll speak with author Julie McDonald. Now, Julie has written over 80 books, all historical, mostly based on people associated with Verde Valley history and the people who made this area be what it is today. Really fascinating woman with so many books. It's hard to keep up. We're going to talk to her. She's really cool. And then we're going to finish out our show with a performance from Larry and Leslie Latour. Valentine's Day is coming. They always do a nice shindig for Valentine's Day. You know, those two beautiful people always have you smiling and wanting to hug everybody around you when they play music. It's really cool. So they're going to do it for us today, and I'm really excited. So let's get started with our show today. From the Verde Valley Regional Economic Organization, we have Mary Cohen and the owner of Chocolita in Sedona, Larry and Leslie. Thank you for being here.
Thank you.
This is exciting.
This is really exciting.
I know there was huge buzz last year.
Mm-hmm. There really was.
Huge buzz.
Right.
Mm-hmm. Yes. So tell us a little bit about what's going on with the Verde Valley Regional Economic Organization.
Well, we've been around for about 12 years. Our mission is really to provide resources for business retention, expansion, and attraction. Mm-hmm. So we are a collaborative of all of the entities, towns, cities, community areas of the Verde Valley. And we work at a regional level to provide services. Mm-hmm. So the Moonshot is one of the programs. I mean, one of our biggest programs and where we've been most successful is we actually have $750,000 that we give out in loans to businesses that cannot get commercial funding. Mm-hmm. And so as a part of that whole business development program, we got introduced last year to the Moonshot at NASET program and got a grant through the city of Sedona by the USDA to host the program. Mm-hmm. And it was very exciting. I mean, as you know, Sarah was part of our winners, but we had 21 businesses who were a part of the program who got the services for $35. So it's basically free to the businesses. They just have to register to pay. Mm-hmm. And the exciting part of the program is that VVREO always sort of goes the extra mile. Mm-hmm. And so we work with the Small Business Development Center at Yavapai College, and we do 4 workshops for all of the businesses that are participating ahead of time, which is not what the typical Moonshot program does, because they do this around the country. Mm-hmm. So since they didn't have to do their workshops, they brought 8 international business leaders in to spend 8 to 10 hours working with our businesses in honing their pitch and working on their presentation for businesses. Wow. So that was a full day working with them. And then at the end of that day, 5 businesses were chosen to present to the public. So we're doing the same thing this year. The dates are March 5th and 6th. So on the 6th, the top 5 businesses will be presenting to the public, and then the judges and mentors will choose the top business. Wow. We also added a twist this year in that sustainability is so critical, so we are offering a sustainability award. Wow. And we offer It tends to average about $30,000 in cash and in-kind prizes to the businesses.
That's a lot.
It's a lot.
That's very useful if you're a small business owner.
Useful.
Yes,
Yeah.
especially if it's a different type of business or an alternative or something people haven't seen before. Just walking in and getting a loan is not so easy for anybody these days, let alone if you're interesting. You know?
No, and since the businesses we work with are those that cannot get commercial lending, we give a lot of coaching and a lot of work. We mandate that they work through the Business Development Center at the college so that they get business planning and marketing, because we're working with entrepreneurs who all have a dream, but financial plans are not necessarily something that turns them on.
Sure, I get that completely. I totally do.
Exactly. Yeah.
Wow. Well, it's so neat that you're behind this and the Pioneer Pitch competition. So, if businesses want to get involved, what does this mean for them as far as getting into this program?
Well, they need to register first on our website at vvreo.com and pay a $35 fee, which gets them into the process and into it. And then once they've registered, they will get links to the different things they need to do. They need to fill out an application.
Great.
Because we want the application, we want to know the business, because the judges and mentors that are selected are targeted to the type of businesses we had. So last year we had lots of food and beverage businesses, so those were the business leaders we brought in. I should say Scott, from Moonshot, they worked to bring the judges in.
Okay.
And then there's a registration through the SBDC, and it's attending the workshops. I mean, we make attending the workshops mandatory because we just recognize the business development that's necessary, because the final piece of it, and what we even did last year, is we worked with a videographer who gifted to each of the top finalists their pitch for their website. So those are the kind of services and coaching that we do for the businesses.
That's incredible. And why? Because to me, it sounds like, wow, what an amazing, wonderful thing, and you're so great, and you're so friendly, and you're not making any money off this, so why are you doing this?
Because business expansion, business attraction in the Verde Valley is really important. And we want to support the dreams. And the big bottom line of economic development is job creation.
Yeah.
So that's what we're about, is how can we create jobs, the right jobs, higher paying jobs in the Verde Valley, and help that business growth.
Wow.
Yeah.
Gosh. So Sarah, let's get some of your story. Why did you participate in the Pioneer Pitch last year?
Honestly, someone
good.
yes honestly someone from the SBDC came by, Ruth Allen, came by our shop at Synergy and dropped off flyers. And at the time, Synergy was a cooperative kitchen, and I was one of the renters in the cooperative kitchen. I'd been in that kitchen for years. I'd been in that kitchen for about 5 years when it was Lulu's kitchen. And then it changed into a cooperative thing. And my friend Sierra and I were like, this is going to be a great idea. We're going to do this great big cooperative kitchen. So Ruth Allen came in and said, hey, all you guys that are renting this kitchen, you should do this pitch competition. And I kind of hemmed and hawed on it. I was like, I don't know if if that's my thing. And because VVREO was offering the workshops, I was like, you know what? It's just going to be a good experience. So I'm just going to do that, because they had access to live plan software. So it was like building my business plan again. And that, for me, that's the 5th time I've written a business plan. And it's always useful every time, because every time you do it, it's like, oh, I'm in a different place and I have different ideas and ways of expansion, and my mind can think a little bit bigger now because of where I'm at. So I just sought it out as a good exercise, and like, oh, maybe I could win, so might as well do it.
Wow.
So that's why I went into it.
And then you ended up winning, so that had to be just wow, so amazing for you.
Yeah, it was really amazing. And what's really amazing about what VVREO is doing with Moonshot is that the other places that Moonshot does this pitch competition, even around the state, there's no build up to it. You're just thrown right into that one-day workshop and then pitch competition at the end of the day. So no one else gets this like 4-week business plan and consulting. I mean, they really work with you. The SBDC, VVREO, they really work with you to help you hone your business, which you're not going to get that like anywhere else in the state. It was like a really, really valuable experience.
That's amazing. So what has it done for your business after you won Moonshot?
Well, I applied for a VVREO loan. So then I ended up getting a VVREO loan,
Great.
which was amazing, like super crucial. I was able to start hiring people.
Nice.
I've hired 2 more people since then. So it's been a really great, like, you know, that's the whole purpose of it, is to be able to hire people and be able to step outside of your business and actually run your business instead of doing the jobs of your business. So that's been, I mean, critical. It's been a great, huge, amazing thing for my business.
That's fantastic. What's the registration deadline, Mary?
Well, there isn't one, sort of. We really encourage people to participate in at least 3 of the workshops. The first workshop is February 6th. So, you know, registration in the next couple of weeks would be really good. We would not turn a business away that came to us, you know, sort of a week before the program, but they're going to have to submit a video and some of those kinds of things because they will not have had the same experiences as the other businesses. So we want compatibility and in the training and things like that. So we would certainly screen them much more carefully because the ones coming in now don't have to give us a pre-video because we're working with them, the counselors and things like that, for the month before the workshop ever starts.
How about that?
Yeah.
I just love it. What an amazing program. And what great groundwork you're setting for businesses and future business owners. And what a great example you've set. It's a really neat program. I'm really excited that it's here and I can see it gaining and gaining. Do you cut off a number? Do you hit a number where you have to go, we have to stop now?
Right. We have the number, last year we had 21 businesses. This year we can have 30.
Wow.
But if it gets beyond 30 businesses, it gets kind of crazy.
I bet. That's a lot of people.
Well, and the crazy part is that on the Thursday where the workshops are, all 30 businesses get to do their pitch. So we get to choose the top 5, or the judges do. So you have to have the time, you know, to go through the processing and things like that. So Scott Hathcock has figured out that 30 is about as much as they can do.
Well, that sounds reasonable.
Well, and Scott and Kirsten, who lead the program, are amazing. Kirsten actually won Shark Tank.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's neat because this is inspired. It's kind of Shark Tank-esque here.
It is. It is. So it's very inspired. So yeah.
Well, that's neat.
Yeah, it is neat.
That is neat. What other programs does VVREO do?
Quite a few. We just actually finished last July, or a year ago July, a strategic plan for the entire region.
Wow.
Where we looked regionally, what are some of the priorities that we need to look at, from sustainability to regionalism, workforce development. So the programs we're involved in a lot of things relate to, let's say, infrastructure. Broadband is a real big program that we've been trying to work with for a long time. We're a part of the sort of the new trade center at the college. Members sit on it. We're just launching, the city of Sedona started it sort of, and there's now a regional part of the program. We're doing a housing study for the entire Verde Valley region.
Wow.
Workforce housing is a critical need.
Yes.
And so we've hired Elliot Pollock out of Phoenix. And so there's the Sedona component, and VVREO is actually the fiscal agent and coordinating the whole regional piece of it so that we can have the statistical analysis of what's the assessment and what are the needs as far as workforce housing in the Verde Valley. Right, we still focus on tourism. It's an economic engine here.
Yep, for
Can't
sure.
get away from it. And again, the educational programs, because so many people don't understand economic development. Our biggest program is our loan program. You know, our funding, $750,000 is through the USDA. We've secured that for the loan funds. We've loaned, I think it's 15 loans since we started the fund.
Wow.
We've never had a default, so we work really hard with our people to make that happen. So those are some of the other programs we do. We keep really busy.
You guys don't sleep.
We don't, and we do it. I am the only paid person, and I am a consultant part-time. Everything else is done by volunteers. The entire project was started by volunteers.
That's unbelievable.
It really is.
Yeah.
It really is.
Wow.
Yes.
Too neat.
Thank you.
Okay, Sarah, so if someone is sitting there going, oh, maybe, I don't know, what would you say to them to say, you know, get up and do this?
I mean, if you're a business owner, if you're someone that's an entrepreneur, that you have an idea, it can't hurt you, you know? And a lot of entrepreneurs are driven. And so why not? You know, why not take that drive and take that initiative? Even if you're like a little bit gun shy, you know, as far as like getting up in front of a group of people, it can't hurt you. And you're gonna need to do that again and again and again and again in your business. So this is like, if anything, it's practice. Even if you don't win, it's practice. And if you do win, there's all these other things that you win. There's so many amazing payments in kind. There's cash. There's the connections that you make with the, you know, SBDC and VVREO, and then the connections you make with all the other people that are participating. There's 21 businesses. There are people that still reach out to me. I've done some really amazing collaborations with other people, you know, and my whole business, I have a business, what I call like a business roommate. I have 2 different business roommates in the same building now. It's no longer a co-op, it's just the 3 of us sharing space. And it's nice because the girl that runs the front of the shop, that's called Synergy, people from our pitch competition come in with their products and we carry their products retail, like up front. So it's been this really nice collaboration opportunity, not only for myself, but like other people that I worked with that are like, hey, what can we do together? How can we work together? And that's kind of the thing for like VVREOs to help.
Expansive.
Yeah,
That's
build
really
up the
great.
community.
Well, cool. Well, it's happening March 5th and 6th. If you go to vvreo.com, or you can go to moonshotaz.com. You check it out. We'll be right back with more of the experience, so don't go away.
Regrow, repair, replace. Regenerative medicine is the process of creating living, functional tissues to repair or replace tissue or organ function lost due to age, disease, damage, or congenital defects. Dr. Forrest Lanchbury and the team at Sedona Regenerative Medicine specialize in finding relief for patients suffering from chronic pain. Contact Sedona Regenerative Medicine to learn about anti-aging medicines that will help your body heal itself. 928-282-2520 or SedonaRegen.com.
Solid Rock Fitness is a one-on-one fitness studio specializing in fitness over 50. I train older adults of all fitness levels, from athletes and avid sports participants to folks with chronic pain to those recovering from surgeries. You and I will focus on strength training to improve overall muscle tone, core conditioning, balance, agility, flexibility, and nutrition. Mastery of these components of fitness will help you live your life to the fullest with confidence and competence.
Start your journey toward better health with Ageless Touches Massage Therapy. Licensed massage therapist Richard Stevens uses the latest and best equipment to relieve scar tissue, electronic smog, and tinnitus. Ageless Touches does everything they can to work your issues down to the bone. Improve your path to better health with Ageless Touches Massage.
And welcome back to the Verde Valley Experience. I'm now here with Louis Juers. He's the Arizona Family Campout Coordinator. We're going to talk about Arizona State Park's family campouts. They're awesome. You haven't participated in one? Why not? They sound like so much fun. I was getting the DL earlier. And Louis, I've got to say, what a neat program.
We have so much fun when we do this. I mean, what we're targeting, or who we're targeting, are families who have very little experience camping. So to get them out, to have a bunch of firsts with their families, the adults and everyone, it's just a whole lot of fun.
So describe exactly what is one of these events. Now, first of all, they're happening all over the place. So there's one near you. I promise we'll get to that. But tell us, what happens at a family campout?
So what a family would do is they would reserve a spot and at one of the parks that we are camping at. Once we get them to the camp, we issue them their gear. We supply all of the gear, the tents, chairs, sleeping mats, everything to perform all of the units. All the campers need to bring is a cooler full of food for 2 days, their bedding and toiletries. That's it. We issue their gear and then we begin teaching. We teach how to set up tents based on what the weather is giving us that day. And usually in Arizona, it's cool weather, hot weather and wet, rain. And we'll set up the tent based on what we're given that weekend. So that's a learning curve. And then from there through the rest of the weekend, we teach how to use the parks, how to use Arizona while staying safe and respecting, our natural resources here.
Neat. I love it. So it's a 2-day event.
It is.
Okay, very good. And what else do you guys do? You've got camping, you've got cooking, you have to teach them how to start fires.
We cook a little bit too. I've got a powerhouse of volunteers. Actually, one of my volunteers is the mayor of Clarkdale.
Oh.
So Doug comes out every once in a while whenever he can find time in his busy schedule, and a bunch of other volunteers who have wicked skills in the outdoors. The lady, the Kim, that does the Dutch oven cooking, has 2 specialties. One is pineapple upside down cake. The other is a monkey bread. And whether you're just so hungry because you're camping, it tastes fantastic. It's so good. We also do a service project with every camp out as well. So we get to use the park throughout the weekend, and then I'd like the campers to give back. So we've done trail maintenance, we've painted fences, we've done stuff that the rangers have a hard time getting to because of all their other responsibilities.
Sure.
But one of the most fun things we've done is build kestrel boxes. The kestrel is a small raptor in the southwest, and they're on decline. Their population is going, downward. So we asked one of the specialists around in the southwest as well, what can we do to help this bird out? And they said build habitat. So I cut the parts and pieces out. So the campers basically build a birdhouse. And then once we get that assembled, we install it in one of our parks.
Wow.
So.
And that's no small birdhouse there. That's a big birdhouse. Those birds are bigger than your average sparrow, so that's a big house to build.
It is. It's about 3 feet tall when we're done with it.
Wow. How many of those did you do that day? Do you know?
Any given camp out, we'll do 3 to 4 based on how many campers we have, because it's a teaming project. The kids, we divide the kids up into, and families up into groups, and then they have to use teamwork to be able to put them together because the parts and pieces are so big.
Yeah.
You need to, work together to be able to make it happen.
Someone has to, like when you're tying something, you have to hold here while I go there, and then get this here, and then you hold that. And
the best part is watching kids use a power drill for their first time, because some have no idea, and then they hit the button and jump a little bit, and it's fun. And then we teach safety as well with long hair, so it doesn't get wound up and things like that.
Right, of course, yes. I know that you strive to teach people to be conscious of themselves when they're camping and to be safe around fires and safe around the equipment and just safe in general, and that's a wonderful part of the teachings that they're going to learn.
And you would think being in the desert water doesn't play a huge part of what we do, but it's enormous. Water safety, we really stress hard. Mainly just fitting a PFD, which is a life jacket. Once I teach everybody how to fit the life jacket and make sure they're floating here and not here, I make them get in the water. That way they have an idea of what the feel of the life jacket does when you do, or if by chance you do fall off a kayak, a paddleboard, or just an inner tube.
Right, it's very important. Most people don't know how to fit a life jacket. We've all seen those little kids in the pool and their life jackets like up here. That's not right.
And we've had experiences too where other families have been in the area and some kids have fallen in. And the drowning experience is not a loud thing. Yeah. A kid may slip in the water and it's perfectly silent. So, and we've given many life jackets away just to families, just in case.
That's right.
Yeah.
And I know that there is a part of the service is related to the life jackets. There's a life jacket kiosk somewhere in the park that you also have dealt with that too.
Arizona Drowning Coalition, we've partnered with them. They supply us with all of their life jackets, and the Ryan Thomas Foundation are behind the life jacket kiosk. They are teaming with Arizona Game and Fish to be able to get more of these kiosks out. And if you don't know about that kiosk, it's just a loaner kiosk. If you find yourself without a life jacket for any individual that you're going boating, any water sports with, you can borrow that life jacket, fit it properly, and then when you're done, just hang it back up on the kiosk.
That's amazing.
It's a great program.
That is a great program. I love all the different programs within the state parks for sure, but family camp out is always close to my heart. My parents didn't camp. what? Sleep in the woods? Are you kidding me? I didn't start camping, until I was in my 20s. And I went, wow, this is great. And I didn't know what I was doing. It would have been so much easier if I didn't know what I was doing when I started instead of having to learn the hard way.
And it's kind of fun, the dynamics that we've drawn. There was a grandma and grandpa who live in Ohio. They picked up one of our cards, and they've camped forever, but they have a grandson in Tucson who has never camped, never slept overnight in a tent. She called me from Ohio, middle of the winter, and said, hey, Louie, can we do this? And I said, yes, we can do this. I'll empty my garage. I'll do whatever I need to do to make this work with whatever gear that you need. And they've camped with us 3 times, and I've got a little story with the grandson as well. We did a service project which was removal of invasive species, which is a fancy term of saying we went out to the desert and pulled weeds. So we use these little pickaxes, and this little boy Aiden was carried his pickaxe up into the desert, was whacking away on weeds, and we were throwing them out of the washes so they don't the seeds don't re-up with more weeds. And when he got home, he had a conversation with Grandma, and Grandma especially called me and said, hey, Louie, guess what Aiden asked for Christmas? He asked for a pickaxe so he could go out and finish the job. It's so cool. Those little stories that evolved through the program, through the years that we've been doing it, are really special.
Yeah, you figure you take a family or you take a kid that lives in a city or lives somewhere where they don't have access, and you introduce them to the outdoors, and that's life-changing.
It is. And with the program too, the kids can roll around in the dirt all day, and at the state parks we can shower them up at the end of the day.
Oh, nice.
We have flush toilets, so it's not, here we are, there's the hole.
Right,
So
it's not total immersion.
It's a little more than that.
It's a little more, kind than in the middle of the woods. There you go, fend for yourself. You're now Bear Grylls or something,
Right.
So that's great. And I love that it's in parks all over the state. So depending on where you are, if you go to the website azstateparks.com/family-camp, you'll see there's a list of everything going on, and they start in March and they run all the way through May. The closest ones to us, April 25th and 26th, Red Rock State Park in Sedona, and then May 16th and 17th at Dead Horse Ranch State Park in Cottonwood. But they're at Apache Junction, in Tucson, in Patagonia, in Show Low. There's lots of them, so whichever one is closest to you, or heck, go to all of them. Why not?
We tube the river not a lot of people can say they've tubed the Colorado River.
Cool.
So on Mother's Day we do that, so that's their spot, to be able to spend time on the river and just float.
I want to do that one. That one sounds like
a good
fun.
one.
So registration is $90 for a family of up to 4. Additional family members are $5 each, but families greater than 4, there's special arrangements that are needed.
Yes.
So they need to go ahead and email in and contact Louie that way, to take care of the fact they may need a bigger tent.
Possibly, and that way I can load the trailer appropriately. We have tents up to 8-person tents. So.
Oh, well, you must have a lot of tents.
We have a lot of tents, almost 30 tents, to cover campers and volunteers that come and tent camps.
Oh, that's right.
So.
And I know that there can be a wait list too. If you fill up, what's full for you?
Dead Horse Ranch filled up this spring. Everything else has availability.
All right, so Dead Horse is already full.
It's full.
Wow.
Right. It filled up in about 2 weeks.
All right, so those extremely local need to do the Red Rock State Park thing. You need to get signed up for that now. That's April 25th and 26th. But don't wait. azstateparks.com/family-camp. I love your story about the little kid and the pickaxe. You must have a lot more stories about the little kids.
We could spend a lot of time here.
Throw me another one of your favorites.
One young lady, she is a Down twin. She has Down syndrome, and we were camping at Cattail Cove, and she was so apprehensive about getting in the water. It was kind of a phobia of hers, and we worked with her slowly. We did the life jacket fitting and reassured her that if she does go in the water, just relax. Make sure you have that first breath before you go underwater, and everything will be okay. Follow your bubbles if you stay underwater a little bit longer. But in the end, she was on her own, doing the paddle boards, doing the kayaks, and it's so satisfying to see that.
I bet. How long have you been involved in family campouts?
We're heading into our ninth season. We started on an AmeriCorps grant, which allowed us to purchase some of the gear. We had a sponsor in Lower Gear in Tempe, and 5 coordinators put this program together. And at year 3, the AmeriCorps grant ran out. Arizona State Parks deemed it worthy enough to be able to keep it moving forward. And we've been at it ever since, building and getting better gear, getting better equipment to move things around. And we're at a pretty good spot right now, but always need more to be able to expand the program. I'm working on bicycles, to get bicycles back into the program, and to purchase our own kayaks. So.
Oh, that's fantastic, Louis. And I can see you love your job.
Oh, it's so much fun.
I can see.
It's so much fun.
Not too many people can do that. Oh, it's so much fun. I love it. Go to azstateparks.com/family-camp. No experience camping? No problem. We'll get you all squared away with one of the Arizona State Parks family campouts. Thank you, Louis. Appreciate you.
Thank you very much for having me.
We'll be right back with more of the experience, so don't go away.
Show your customers how much they matter to you. Follow up with a real card in just 60 seconds with Send Out Cards. Send Out Cards makes it easy for busy professionals to leave a memorable impression. Stay in touch with a simple one-step process from your phone or computer to their mailbox. Call Judy today at 928-202-2557. That's 928-202-2557.
Award-winning Soundbites Grill is an entertainment restaurant located in Uptown Sedona at the Hyatt Pinion Point Resort. Open for lunch and dinner, featuring fresh fish, all-natural hand-cut beef, even a full vegan menu. Family-friendly, open 11:30 to 9, late dining on Friday and Saturday. Soundbites Grill has some of the best views of the Sedona Red Rocks. Offers world-class entertainment, food, fun, and music.
I'm now sitting here with author Julie McDonald. Julie, thank you so much for being here.
Oh, thank you for having me.
This
Such a
is
delight.
Exciting. I love your books, and you've got 7 different books out, plus pamphlets, as well as 40 some odd ebooks.
80.
80 ebooks. Oh my God. And it's just so neat because these are about people, these books are about people that we feel we know, that the historical people in this area, in the Verde Valley, you've gone and you've done your homework and you've written about it. But let's start at the beginning. How did you start writing?
Well, I started about 10 years ago, and I started with a gardening book, and it's this one right here, Farm Your Front Yard. And because I have a farm stand at my house, so I sell vegetables and flowers and other things at my house. And so many people have so much trouble gardening in northern Arizona or all of Arizona that they really need help. And so I started with that. But I began in the book with a little bio about my grandmother. And she had a little truck farm in downtown Flagstaff and put 6 kids through college selling vegetables. She was a widow. And just amazing. So that's where I kind of got my gardening. But people would read the gardening book and they would say, oh, I really enjoyed reading about your grandmother. That was so interesting. And I thought, oh, I would love to write more about my grandmother because I found her so fascinating, but she's not enough for a whole book. So I thought, I wonder if I could find some more people that were like her, that hadn't been written about before. I didn't want to do people that were rich and wealthy. My grandmother's very, very poor. I wanted to do minorities and immigrants, people who really were kind of living the pioneer life. So I began looking around. And so my first book is this one, Unbreakable Dolls. And I just kind of came up with that because that seems to be what these women were. So I asked one of my friends from high school about her grandmother. She happened to be an Italian immigrant from Jerome, the Zanzuki family, which people in northern Arizona would recognize that name, Granny's Closet, and they had Flagstaff Dairy as well. So this lady on the front is my kid's great-grandmother, and she lived in Cottonwood. She was a very savvy businesswoman, bought up lots of land in Cottonwood, Flagstaff, Kingman, Phoenix, and she was also a Harvey girl. So she was quite a character, so I got this one as well. The lady on the back here is Cherry Blair, the all-around cowgirl, in 1941, and she was from the Valley, Grand Canyon area. Got this from a rancher friend. So none of the women in my first book had been written about at all, ever. Wow. So this was, you know, all new history, but real northern Arizona history. Really fun. And then my dad wrote stories in the 60s and 70s about he was a humorous writer and cartoonist. And so he wrote a story about going down the old Oak Creek Road. He was born here in 1914. Wow. And just so interesting was one lane. He wrote stories about all kinds of northern Arizona things. So with each of the women's story, I paired one of my dad's stories. Oh. So there's 8 women's stories in here and then 8 of my dad's. Wow. So I was having so much fun, I just kept going. This lady was the mother of Sturgeon Cromer of Cromer School in Flagstaff. Several other Flagstaff families. Another Harvey girl here. Wow. And also the story of Sarah Ashurst. Fascinating story. Never been written about before, but she was the mother of our first senator, Henry Fountain Ashurst. Right. So, and Ashurst Lake, Ashurst Music Hall, all those are named for that family.
I love it. So there's 3 in this series.
So there's 3 in this series.
And the Unbreakable Dolls.
Yes, and the Unbreakable Dolls. And then I've done, you can get an ebook called Unbreakable Dolls of Colorado, and I'm doing one of New Mexico and hopefully Montana. They're fun. In the process of writing these books, I came across the bad women and the good men in my research that didn't fit in this. So then I did Saints and Scoundrels of Arizona. And this is actually my favorite book because you can really write about anybody in here and they don't know whether you're thinking they're a saint or a scoundrel. And a saint book in Arizona wouldn't be very long. So
of course, it is.
there's not too many in here.
I love that.
It is really a fun book, and some of the stories are only 2 paragraphs. That's all that was interesting. Wow. Some of the stories are several pages. So some really fascinating stories, Pleasant Valley War, that's on the cover. And then this is a man that was, some cowboys who had had too much to drink thought it would be a good idea to dig him up and give him his last drink. Oh. So that happened in Winslow in 1904. Lots of people from the canyon in here, different families, and some of the interesting men that I didn't. Each one of these books has something about Oak Creek because I love Oak Creek Canyon. Yeah. So, and then there's 4 men in here in this one.
Fun. Saints and Scoundrels, Colorful Characters of Arizona. And of course, the pictures inside, you know, everybody loves picture books, are all great. I just love all these photographs. They're just way too fun. I can't imagine the amount of hours of research that went into all of this.
You know, it was just really fun, and the stories kind of just came to me. You know, they just kind of fell into my lap, so I wasn't working that hard at trying to find them. They were more coming to me.
Wow, that's great. And that's normally how it is with a really good writer. I love your writing style.
Oh, thank you.
I've gotten halfway through the gardening book because I just started reading yesterday because I went, oh, and as I was hooked. The first paragraph, I was hooked. Your writing style is so fluid and light and friendly, and you just want to keep reading. It's like you're talking to a friend. It's just so cool that you keep writing. And to find these books, to find the Unbreakable Dolls series, the Saints and Scoundrels, or your gardening books, they're sold locally all over the place.
Yes, and I know you're listening. Your viewing audience is very wide. So if you're in the Prescott area, they are at Charlotte Hall and Pippin Museum. They're at Ruby Road, which is a fun antique shop in Camp Verde. Yep. There multiple places in Sedona, lots and lots of different places, and they're here at the Butterfly Garden, and all the books are here. And in Flagstaff, there are multiple places there as well, the museums and the visitor center, gift shops downtown.
Absolutely.
So a number of places.
Absolutely. And if we go on Amazon, we can get a hold of one of your 80 ebooks.
Yes. Yes, if you just go to Julie McDonald, and I have a website, www.funhistorystories.com.
Funhistorystories.com.
So, and I have some gardening seminars on there too, gardening videos.
Cool. Yeah, when summer comes around, we're having Julie back, and we're going to talk about farming your front yard because that's awesome. And she's written other things too, but we could do a whole show on you, Julie. Thank you so much for meeting us.
Oh, thank you.
Appreciate you. We'll be right back with more of the experience, so don't go away.
This is Bruce Morrow, Transportation Manager for Cottonwood Area Transit. Remember, we cover the entire Verde Valley and Sedona. Cottonwood Area Transit has you covered wherever you want to ride in the Verde Valley, all day, every day. Take Cottonwood Area Transit through Clarkdale, Verde Village, and from 26 locations in Cottonwood. With Verde Links, it's a quick and easy trip to Sedona every day. Don't forget our connectors to Camp Verde. Visit cottonwoodaz.gov for Cottonwood Area Transit and take a seat. Let's go ride.
I was feeling kind of seasick. Crowd called out for more as the room was humming harder and the ceiling slipped away. We called out for another drink, and the waiter brought a tray, and so it was that later, when the mirror told its tale, that her face at first just ghostly turned a wider shade of pale. She said there is no reason, and the truth it's plain to see. As I wandered through my playing cards, I just could not let her be. One of 16 Vestal virgins who were leaving for the coast. And though my eyes were open, they might just as well have been closed. And so it was that later, when the mirror told its tale, that her face at first just ghostly turned a wider shade of pale.
Very nice. As I slide on into your level here.
Old classic.
That was beautiful. Larry and Leslie Latour, everyone. So great to have you back on the show.
Good to see you. Thank
It's
you
always
for
great
having
to
us
see
back.
you.
Always good to see you.
You look younger every time. Playing music must keep you young, huh?
Yeah.
I think so. We normally do an original song, but one day I was fiddling with the guitar, and there's this round that goes on in that song, almost
It's like an Escher painting.
like an M.C. Escher painting. You know, the one
Goes and
where
goes.
the monks are walking up the stairs forever and ever and ever.
Oh, yes,
or
yes.
walking down the stairs.
All
This thing
right.
just keeps going round and round and round and round and round.
Ah,
I said,
clever.
that's cool. Yeah,
It's
Yeah.
clever. So
Well, it's lovely
keep
with
playing.
your voice and with your stylings put together. It really takes it to a different place, and it was really neat for me to hear that version. I really enjoyed you guys
Thanks.
doing
I
that.
love the old classics.
So, yeah,
It-
I know.
Raised on the old classics.
Yeah, and you guys use a lot of those in your performances, but you also do a lot of original work as
Yeah,
well.
we've been doing
Yeah.
a lot of original work. We've got another CD, Real Music 2, coming out.
All right.
When we do our Valentine's Day show, we'll have it there. It's in the mail as we speak.
Oh,
it's exciting.
That is exciting.
we did it for those of the listening audience who are musicians and are looking for a recording studio. We did it at a studio up in Flagstaff near the Snowball called Mud Shark Studios. It's a
I've heard of it.
501c3. It used to be, it was opened in 1970. It used to be the haven for traveling musicians like the Grateful Dead and Linda Ronstadt, and it was built for that. So all of these
Willie
ghosts
Nelson,
are
I think.
floating
It's very
around in the-
vintagey. It has those funny chairs that you sit back in.
Ooh.
The gentleman ran it
Fuzzy
until he was
carpet.
old and passed away, and then a young gentleman named David James bought it, opened it, kept it going.
Wow.
It's a great little place.
Fun
It's got a
place.
studio and
Huh.
it's an Airbnb and everything.
Wow, how neat.
Yeah.
That's a
Got an
501c3. That's incredible.
Yep.
You
Yeah.
don't hear that.
A
you know.
membership. There's
Yeah?
a membership.
Yeah, there's a membership to it. Anybody
Wow.
can join it for $25. And can I sell something here?
Wow. Well, seriously, that's something that's very
$25
unusual.
to buy in, and it's $20 an hour for studio time.
Wow.
He'll pull in
Which,
musicians
for those
for
of
you
you
if
who
you
are
need
going,
That's
wow,
unheard of.
that'll pull in some musicians.
That
If
is
you want, get in
unheard
touch
of.
with me.
Because I know that's a hurdle to a lot of our local musicians who are fantastic. It's not about the talent, it's about the time or the money it takes to build and create
Yeah,
their
it can
CD
take-
and to
it
get
can
it
take a long
released
time
and
to
having
get it
that
right and to keep-
available to
yeah.
them. Yeah, and it's no
Take after take. And
Yeah.
it's
And
not
that's
cheap.
That's
No,
inexpensive.
it's not. Yep.
That's inexpensive. So we
Yeah.
did a CD,
nice.
and just finished mixing it and mastering it and sending it to copy it, and now we're getting the copies.
That's great, and you'll have those available at your wonderful Valentine's concert that
Day,
you're
fifth,
doing.
Yeah, the fifth one. Fifth
Oh,
Valentine's.
the fifth. It's the fifth already?
Yeah,
The
I
fifth
know.
one.
Wow.
The first time at the Mary Fisher Theater, and it'll be a CD release of sorts, and it's still pretty reasonable. Tickets, if you want to get them early, are $15.
Nice.
If you want to get them online, you go to the Sedona Film Festival.
Site.
We're under that,
Great.
and it's of course February 14th, which
There
is
you go.
Valentine's
It's
Day.
easy
There
to
you go.
remember.
What
Easy
time
to
of day?
remember.
7:30.
7:30.
I think the
7:30.
doors
So you
open
can- doors open at 7:30. There's a movie at 4, so
Okay.
you can go 7:30, have a good dinner, and go to
Yeah.
the show.
Right.
Love songs.
Oh,
songs.
love songs. You guys do the best
do.
love songs.
We do.
You really do.
love to do
How
love
you work
songs.
together, it's
Yes.
just beautiful. Your love
fun.
songs
We
are
are-
the best.
We're pretty lucky.
There's a reason,
Yeah.
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it shows. And it shows. And no better couple to sing love songs than you guys.
We realize that more all the time. We've always known that, but everybody doesn't have the gift of being able to write music with a partner, and knowing them so
it's
well
exciting.
that we can throw things out and we can switch them and we can change them and do it differently, and it still works.
Yeah, we've talked about this before, I think, on the show, where I'll write a tune, she'll put the music, she'll put the words to it, or she'll write the words, I'll put the tune to it, or she'll write the words and I'll write exactly the tune with those exact words, or we'll cut them up, or we'll do different ways of doing it, and we just have to be open to that. And we don't write a song a week either. We go in spurts. We don't write something for 6 months and suddenly there's 4 songs in 2 weeks.
Right. And every time I don't write anything for a while, I go, oh, I've forgotten how to do it. And then all of a sudden something happens, and I'll have to write about that. I have to write about that.
I need some words. Give me some words. Yeah. You write words so much better than I do.
Oh, that's sweet how you work very well together. Yeah. Well, how long have you guys been in love now? How many years?
In love, or how many years have we been together?
How long have you been in love?
Almost 20.
20 years.
Yeah. That's
15
great.
I just turned 60, so yeah, it was when I was a youngster.
Nice.
That's right. Yeah. We met. I was doing I was in a trio of old folk music because the 2 people we sang with were old folkies, and they wouldn't sing anything past 1959.
Really that old.
All right.
They were in their 50s and 60s.
They looked at Joel Golden, Kathy Sycamore, who just passed. They looked at folk music. They looked at Peter, Paul, and Mary as new age pop.
Wow.
That's not folk to them. Folk to them were the Weavers and people like that. So you can't beat them, join them. And we started a folk band, and we had all these gigs, and she had kidney stones, and we needed a side singer. So we picked. I said, Les, you want to sing with us?
2 songs, but
2 songs ended up being 19.
This is where it led us.
Wow. That's neat.
And then she looked at you and said, when I said we had a new singer, she looked at you and said,
well, we'll see. Very
see.
Scary, but I just sang, and it was okay. It all worked out.
We had a good time. We did a lot of really good old stuff, and then we went to originals.
Old Weavers and stuff like that.
Yeah. Nice.
Started doing 60s and 70s pop tunes when we got away from that group.
We were outside of a coffee house one time, and Larry started to play Mustang Sally on his acoustic guitar, and I thought, God, that sounds really neat, and but I didn't know that he could play old rock and roll. And there it was. He started picking up different songs, completely different stuff on acoustic.
Nice.
We're not not much electric going on there.
Yeah. Something like this.
Mustang Sally.
Yeah. That's cool.
Yeah.
Something you didn't know was in there. That's cool. See?
I thought all he could sing was folk, but
ooh, I like that version.
There you go.
That's a good one. Next time we have to play that too.
It was all I could do, as a folkie. But if you take all those old songs and try to find, there's some great acoustic versions of rock songs, and some that do acoustic versions of their own rock songs. When Eric Clapton came out, did his acoustic version of Layla. But they're great acoustic guitar players. Like there's a gentleman in town. I'll shout him out, Rick Ziggy.
Yes.
He's a fingerstyle guitar player.
Yes.
He does some great acoustic versions of rock tunes.
Yep.
And Tommy Emmanuel and people like that.
I love it when you can take music that on its own already is wonderful or perfect sounding to the ear, and then remake it and have like a whole new song
way of doing
that's so wonderful and beautiful.
Well, White a Shade of Pale that we just did.
Yeah.
That, if you listen, remember that was an organ playing.
That's right.
Very dirgy organ.
That's true.
And we sort of remade it with a fingerstyle
I love it.
picking.
But the next song that you're going to play is an original.
Yes.
Which one are you playing?
You
don't know.
Well,
whatever he starts off on.
I
love how easy you are.
latte song.
The latte song.
Yeah, we want to tell the story.
Okay. Oh yeah. Larry used to be really addicted to double mocha lattes.
Oh yeah, I know why. Those are good.
Yeah. And he was jonesing to go get a double mocha latte one time, and we had gone for a walk, and he said, I have to go get this latte. And I went home and I wrote the lyrics for this just as a poem.
Fun.
And sent it to Larry, and next thing I knew,
Oh,
brought
made
it back,
song.
and then we started singing it.
That's great.
If we can remember the words.
Oh. Well, I really look forward to your new release on February 14th, Love Songs 2. That's going to be just amazing. Check them out at the Mary D. Fisher on February 14th. It's doors open at 7:30 showtime. Get your tickets ahead. Online, Sedona Film Festival website, $15. Really great deal. Thank you very much for being on the show. I love you guys.
And this is a love
It is
song
wonderful.
of a man who's in love with his latte.
And the man who's in love. We will leave you with a man who is in love with his lattes and this lovely lady as well. Thank you so much,
Thanks,
as
Jen.
always, for watching the Verde Valley Experience. We really appreciate you. Check us out at verdevalleytv.com, myradioplace.com, on YouTube, on Facebook, and I'll see you again next time.
Let me tell you of a story that will scare you to the core. It's about what it would be like if there wasn't any more. It's the latte that I speak of, sent from somewhere up above. You know, a man with his latte, there is no truer love. If he didn't have his latte, there would sure be hell to pay. He would lose all his incentive, and his mind would go astray. If he didn't have his latte, he would sure be singing blues. Is it decaf or mocha? Better know what he would choose, 'cause there's something very special in the bottom of that cup.
Oh yeah.
Something dreamy, something steamy. You just wanna drink it up. To deny a man his latte would be grounds to start a war. Just imagine what it could be if there wasn't any more. Such confusion and delusion if the latte land shut down. People jumping from their windows with an empty, hollow sound. In a land where once was happiness, the pain of lack would show. God, the coffee shop is empty, just where are they to go? So let's try to keep it perking, 'cause a man can't go without. And the legend of the latte is good reason till to sure there's something very special in the bottom of that cup.
Oh yeah.
There's something dreamy, something steamy. You just wanna drink it up. A society that's latte-less should never want to be, 'cause there's the legend of the latte for everyone to sure there's something very special in the bottom of that cup.
Oh yeah.
Something dreamy, something steamy. You just want to drink it up.